Hello YouTube and welcome back to Fire Gaming Project. The official banners have been released a few days ago, right before the weekend actually, for Raiden Shogun and Kokomi and the 4 stars. So I'm going to go over them quickly here. So first starting with Raiden Shogun in this video, and then the next video will be about Kokomi. Also individually, each of these characters I've already previously done a review video of them and my usage of them. So do check them out in my playlist. In my video section as well. So do check those out and support the channel. Before we begin, make sure that you guys are subscribed and that you hit the like button or thumbs up. Feel free to leave a comment. Let me know if you guys are polling for these characters or not, or if you have them or if you like them or not. Yeah. So let's start. So everyone knows this about me already, and I've already told many people, and my viewers already know, but also many people in the community also know. Raiden Shogun is a must-pull unit. Some people were unlucky and did not win the 50-50 on her for the free-to-play players out there. So this is your chance, guys and girls, to try to get her when she comes back, basically in a few days. So I won't go through the full build for every character, obviously, because like I said, I've already done the reviews for them. For Raiden Shogun specifically, I did a rerun review for her right before, like a few weeks ago, in anticipation of her being rerun in this patch. So do check that one out. That's the more updated one. For the other 3 characters, Bennett, Shinyan, and Guosara, those reviews still stand. I haven't really changed their builds or anything since I posted those reviews before, so that should be fine. Alright, so we'll go through it really kind of quickly because there's 4 characters to go through here, and then I have to do the Kokomi one afterward. So Raiden Shogun, basically she's a must-pull unit, and I'll just quickly show the stats here. Mine is not built that great, just so we're clear. There's reasons for that, but mainly it's because of artifact RNG, etc. So, you know, since the build though, that I did for her review video recently, I did update her artifacts. I was able to farm it a little better and change a few pieces in and out. So that's why you'll see that some of the stats are a little bit different than that video, but it's just really just to optimize her a little bit better, okay? Let's start with the artifacts since we're already on the screen. So of course we want the Emblem of Severed Fate. That's her best in slot. There's no question about it. There's really no point in talking about any other set, because if you can farm this and get 4 pieces for her, then that's great. You want attack for this one. You don't need the energy recharge because the set itself gives energy recharge, and her weapon should as well. And you want Electro for this one, obviously, and crit rate is preferred for this one. If you have a lot of crit rate already, of course, then crit damage is fine. Okay, weapon-wise, we already talked about this, but this is obviously her best in slot. I will do a separate video about the weapon banner as well after the Kokomi video, so do look for that as well. But I've already previously extensively talked about this weapon compared to the Catch, compared to the Skyward Spine. So do check out that video too. It is a little bit older because it was from way back when Raiden first debuted, but regardless, it's still valid to this day. Long story short, all 3 of these weapons would be amazing on her. Of course, Engulfing Lightning is her best in slot, hands down. Second best, in my opinion, would be the Catch, but if you have your Shangling built out, and I've already talked about this previously as well, then the Catch should go to her, and then, or the Skyward Spine. Yeah, so depending on how you want to play it, but yeah, she would also do well, we're talking about Raiden here, she would do well with, of course, the Primordial Jade Spear as well. Some of you may have gotten an extra one or 2, like myself. I got an extra one from losing the 50-50 or something from before, or maybe when I was trying to get one of those, like not deeply trying, but then just like, you know, throwing a few wishes there, and then I got this, like I think within like 7 wishes or something like that, or something. Anyway, so whatever, it's just sitting there. Yeah, and then Homa would be good for her too, but there are better characters for using this, such as Hu Tao and Zhongli, right? So there are better options for other characters, but yeah, the deathmatch is also good for her, because it does give you the crit rate. Then in this case, you would want an energy recharge artifact piece then, because if you get the crit rate from this, you may not need the crit rate on the circlet, but you know, you have to balance it out. Yeah. Other weapons that are viable, Favonius Lance is a universal one for starting out, especially if you're earlier in the game or mid-game and you don't have, or you're not planning to pull on any of the 5-star banners, that's okay. Then Favonius would be a universal free-to-play friendly or low-spend friendly weapon. And then Black Cliff Pole is not bad too. It has crit damage. The passive is not consistent, however, it is a good stat stick for starters and as a placeholder. I've already done a review of Black Cliff weapons in general previously. It's still valid to this day and people still watch that video, so do check that out too. Crescent Pike is not necessarily for her. She's not a physical damage character. Same goes for the Dragon Spine Spear. I would skip those. And then the Catan Cross Spear. This is not really for her either. You could, because it does have an elemental skill damage related passive and energy, etc. But then I don't know. This is kind of like if you have nothing else better, then maybe this. But yeah, I would say Favonius would be better than this one because energy is specifically related to her 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 kit. Prototype Star Glitter is another one that has energy in it, so this is okay too. It's a craftable, and then the passive is elemental skill as well, and her elemental skill is useful. But then it increases the normal and charge attack, which is not necessarily something that you would. Well, the charge attack, no, but the normal attack you would actually. So this is not bad, okay? And then this one doesn't apply to her because it's Hydro and Pyro, and the Lithic Spirit doesn't apply to her directly because she's not from Liyue. Hopefully that clarifies it a little bit. Constellation-wise, now, as you guys may know, I love her, so I went hard on heavy on her. I did get her to C3. We'll go over them quickly. C1 gathers more stacks, basically. Her stacks are called Resolve. And then when other Electro characters use their burst, then the Resolve gain is faster. The second one, using Muso no Hitotachi, which is her Q, and in the Muso Ishin state, applied by the Muso Shinsetsu. Hang on, they're all called Muso. Let me see. Muso Shinsetsu is her Q. Sorry, I have to make that clear. So yeah, then yeah, that's her Q. Correct. Yes, her burst. The Raiden Shogun's attacks ignore the opponent's 60% of their defense, so this is good. Obviously, it's like a big defense shred. This is +3 levels for her Q, her burst, which is good. I stopped there though. C4 is nice because once she does that, once her Q ends, then and you swap her out, then all the nearby character party members, excluding herself, will gain a 30% attack bonus for 10 seconds. This is nice if you want to like transition to the next character right away. I think that's amazing. I wouldn't mind getting one of these as well, but I'm not going to go that hard and heavy. This is +3 levels for her E elemental skill, and this last one is basically when she applies her Q burst, the attacks that are considered part of her elemental burst will decrease all nearby party members, not including her own, elemental burst cooldown. So it just helps basically them speed up their energy in a way and cool down. Yeah, so that's that. And then talent-wise, I did triple crown her. If you are to focus on prioritizing, you definitely need to make sure that her Q and her E are both at high as possible. So level 8 or 9 would be preferred if you can. And actually her normal attack is very useful too because you will end up slashing a lot with her in and out of her Q burst stance with normal attack. I know I do, so that's why I crowned it. Some people don't, so that's okay. It's up to you. If you don't use her normal attack, then you don't need to level this up that high. You can leave it low or leave it at 6 or 8, it's fine. But I do, so that's why I triple crowned her. She's only one of 4 characters that I've triple crowned, I believe. So anyway, yeah, and then this one is when party members gain elemental orbs or particles, then she'll gain 2 more stacks. This one is each 1% above 100% of energy recharge, then she'll get extra attack, basically elemental electro damage, I mean. And this one is when she is ascending swords and polearms, then the Mora expended requirement is 50% cheaper. So that's a good benefit altogether. She has really good items. I'll just put this back on the screen once again. So yeah, so my energy recharge is about 248. It could be higher. I've seen some people go to 300. So again, that's a little extra damage there. My crit rate could be higher, but you know, it is what it is. It's RNG. I still continue to farm that dungeon to this day, and I still haven't gotten anything better. So it is what it is. All right, let's move along quickly. The other 4-star characters I won't spend as much time on. So Bennett, obviously we all know he's an amazing support character. Definitely you guys have to get him. And that's all I can say. I'm okay with the Skyward Blade on him. I won't go into all the weapon options for him, but it's either this one or Aquila Favonia if you have them. If you're okay with Freedom Sword, if you have an extra one lying around, you could give that to him too. He's fine with the Festering Desire for those of you who are older players that came from way back when. He would be fine with any of the energy ones, basically, because he does need energy. So we'll just go into that really quickly. So Sacrificial is okay, but Favonius would be probably better. You would want to give the ones with higher attack base because he does give a boost based off of his own attack. We'll leave it at that because I don't want to go into too much detail. Again, I do have these posted. For him, the 4-piece Noblesse is preferred. I mean, because he doesn't need energy, you could consider an emblem too, perhaps, because an emblem is almost a similar effect to a four-piece noblesse. But I had him since the beginning, so I just left it on the noblesse because I don't want to refarm for these characters. For him, though, I won't go into all the details, but basically, you don't want to go open this C6, you don't want to activate it, but you want to get the first 5, right? I won't go into the detail. Again, I do have the reviews posted already. I'm pretty sure people that know Bennett already know this, so I don't want to go into too much detail. I did crown his Q burst. This one, you can bring it as high as you need, or you can leave it low. I don't know that everyone uses this that much. It doesn't really matter. The only time you use this is not for the damage. It's just to apply pyro. So this could be low, and then the normal attack can be low as well. It could be even lower than 6. Um, and then lastly, yeah, like this is just cooldown reduction. This one is his Bennett circle, right? So, you know, depending on the effect of what happens inside of it. And this one is dispatch bonus, so that's a good one for expedition. Xinyan, not many people like her, but I liked her, and I did talk about that way back then. This is just my build for her. I didn't mind using her, but I agree that they made her kind of like not a great character, but then she is a character that is okay. Weapon choices for her, definitely any of the claymores would be fine with her, I'll be honest. There's, like, long story short, she'll be fine with any claymore, for any of the 4 stars, probably not the bell. Most characters don't like the bell. She's fine with a physical damage build, an energy build, because she needs it too. She can be a crit build if you like her that much. You can give her 5-star ones and she's fine. She's fine with the luxurious Sea Lord if you have it. So she's fine. And then this one is the one that I would not put this on her. So, I mean, this is not that suitable for most characters. And she's not good with the white blind either because she doesn't need the defense. But she is from the US, so the Lithic Blade would be okay for her too. Artifact-wise, I gave her a 2-piece Crimson, 2-piece Bloodstain because I don't mind giving her some physical damage. But a 4-piece Crimson may not be suitable for her because she doesn't do that much elemental reactions in the sense that you wouldn't leave her on the field so long, etc. So 2-piece is fine just to give her some pyro bonus, and then or you can focus her completely on a physical build, and that's okay too. And these Bloodstains are from really, really old pieces that I had left over that I just gave to her. So you don't have to heavily invest in her. Constellation-wise, I've done a full review of her, so I'm not going to go through all the constellations here, but basically, yeah, like I have her at C6. And then talent-wise, I only left her at 777. These are just +3 because of the constellations, and I'm okay with that. I mean, you could bring her up to 888, but again, I don't really use her either. I don't mind her, but I don't, like, I have other characters to use. So, yeah. I've seen some people bring her up to like 8s, so 888 or 999, that's okay too, if you really like using her. This one just increases her shield benefits. This one is also extra physical damage, see? And this one is just cooking, which doesn't matter. Alrighty, last but not least, we have Guosara. This character I actually don't like myself. I've made that very clear. I don't build her. I previously had if you look at my review video for her, I previously built her, but then I took pieces off of her to give to other characters because I don't like using her. That's just me from a PS5 perspective. I don't like using charge shots. I don't like bow characters. So that's just me for the majority of them. So it's not just specifically because of her. I recently went crazy on craftables, so I crafted this to R5, but as you can see I didn't level it up, but I just put this on her because I took away her weapon that she had. She had an ambush bow that I later gave to Goro, and then she had another weapon that I later gave to somebody else too. So in the end she has nothing, so I just left her with this one, because aesthetically this one looks good on her. As a placeholder. So she also needs energy, so Favonius would be fine for her. So what else? Let me say, like, she's not a normal attacker, so I wouldn't bother with Rust. She's not really that much of an elemental damage dealer, so like in terms of energy elemental reactions. So I wouldn't bother with like a Stringless or like the Wind Bloom. Like I wouldn't bother, and she does not, in my opinion, deserve any of the 5-star ones. Because she's just really a support. You turn her on, you put her on, you do her little attack buff thing, and you swap her out. Because she's kind of like a Bennett, but not as good, right? So in that case, see, for Bennett, you would want to give him a 5-star weapon if possible, right? But then for her, you don't need to. You could, if you really wanted to. You could also level her up more than I did, too. I don't hate her, but I just don't like using Bowie characters, that's all. Okay, artifact-wise, she's basically the same as Raiden Shogun, so Emblem of Separate Fate is preferred for her. If you don't want to farm that for her, but I think you should because that's a really good artifact domain to farm, and then so you might have leftover pieces that you can give to her. She doesn't need the best pieces. She can just take whatever leftover ones that you have. And then C6 again. Again, I did do a full review of her, so do check that out. I don't even think I should have leveled this to 6. This should have just been left at level 1 for the normal attack. For these two, these are 6s as well, so +3 because of the constellations. If you had to prioritize, then I guess you can prioritize her E and her Q. And then this one just gives her aim shot charge time is decreased, which again, I'm not doing aimed or charge shot. It means nothing to me. This one, excuse me. So this one just gives her more energy recharge, and then the last one is she gets the Inazuma Expedition bonus. So anyway, I hope that you guys found this useful. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Please stay tuned for the next video where I will talk about Kokomi, and in that one, I will repeat a little bit of these 3 4-star characters, but I'm going to say them even faster than this. And spending more time on Kokomi, so do check that out, and I will talk about the weapon banner separately as well. So stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next